Building an alerting tool to inform field responders of vulnerable population after a natural disaster. An article in the Polaris project really caught our attention in 2018. It was related and exposing the link between natural disaster and risk for human trafficking, and that information has been replicated in many news outlets. Being from Colombia, we feel that uh, that problem really close. We have a human tragedy in 2017 called the Mocoa flood that killed hundreds of people, and other many hundreds of people are still missing. And we believe that the technology can enable us to do an early alert on those disasters and provide field responders and field operatives with more and more information on how to react to those events, especially for sensitive and vulnerable population. So we're building a solution that places sensors on the field. We measure the condition of the soils to determine if a potential flood or landslide can occur in high-risk areas. And then we use that information to trigger queries into getting more and more demographic information about the people affected in the perimeter, and push that information into the field responders to give them like an initial idea and an initial number on the amount of people that they have to account for after the disaster, trying to tackle and prevent any human trafficker to engage with these vulnerable people. Since we're going completely services, we're expecting to scale as needed. In the example that we're presenting, we're changing events between 30 people affected to the 10,000 people affected. We're calling on Solution DA for disaster alert, a flood, and landslide monitor. The architecture is split into three different parts. First, we have the gateway and the sensor that will be placed in the high-risk areas. Those sensors collect data every 5 or 10 minutes, and that's configurable. And you can push that data into the AWS cloud. We have rules that determine what to do with that data. Most of the time we store it in a NoSQL database, and we get a Lambda function to query APIs, to query web services and get the demographics information that we need, and make the decision if an alert is raised or not. If a decision is made, the alert will be pushed either by email or SMS, or will feed an operational dashboard built over Elasticsearch and Kibana. The method processing, as we mentioned, is basically the core is a Lambda function that will be triggered after the IoT MQTT message gets into the DynamoDB. We query the API, we determine what kind of information do we need, either age, gender, socioeconomic status, whatever information can help us to profile those vulnerable population, we will use it. And then we push that information into two different services, either SNS for notifications, or Elasticsearch and Kibana for an operational dashboard. The dashboard that we built for this proposal, it contains a map and shows you the scale of the disaster that can happen, and then it also focuses on the amount of people affected by the situation, providing an idea of kids between 0 and 19 years old, women versus men, specific socioeconomic demographics that can help, that are not available in all countries, but for at least for this example, we're using US data that is more granular that we see in Colombia or in other countries in Latin America. We then also trigger the notifications. The usual message looks like this. We try to push information about the department or the county where the affection occurs, and we always try to push information into a dashboard to make people visit it and look and take a deeper look at this. We try to showcase a special placeholder where field responders may allocate people like airports or big facilities, and that's the information that we present to the field responder. We're expecting that this type of solution can help people on the field, especially Doctors Without Borders and other non-government organizations, to react with more accurate information about the scale of the problem that we are facing, and to make sure that we can account for the last people before they fell into the human trafficker hands. Thank you.